Hello. I'm back, y'all. Oh my God, I'm back. So, yes. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah. Hello, guys. I hope everyone's doing great. I am back. I took some time off and I needed it. And I didn't know what to do with myself. But yes, I am back and ready. I was actually supposed to um I was supposed to actually do a recording last Saturday, but I was having technical issues. StreamYard gives me the blues whenever I try to do some pre-recorded stuff. So I'm hoping that the sound is good and the quality is a-okay today. So okay, and I have sound here on here. So just a second, because I wasn't supposed. uh Okay, I was supposed to have everything on mute, and it's not working. Okay. Anyways, hello. Why am I here? Who is this lady that is just showing up live streaming? I guess you're like either already subscribed or you just happen to come across my content. But if you don't know who I am, my name is Yolanda. I am locating cozy, and this is a broad chat. So thank you guys for coming. And again, I basically took May off. I was supposed to come back on June 1st somewhere, and that didn't happen. So here I am. Okay. So, anyways, before we get started and going and talking about my topic of today, I just wanted to first say, because some of y'all came in early. Thank you very much, Aurora. I mean, like, she came in and posted like a few minutes before, and I was like, wow, thank you very much. I so appreciate you. And yeah, it is midnight here in Spain. And my goal was that I was going to actually like just do lives like maybe a little bit earlier or just record some content to post. And I got to do things the hard way, I guess. Yeah, so I was like, no, you're going to stay up, not take a nap at all today. I've been awake since about 6:30, 6:30 this morning. Yeah, and I haven't taken a nap, and here I am, wide awake. We'll see how long that lasts. But yeah, I'm wide awake. I'm used to being up this late. So um, thank you guys for coming. Let's go ahead and recognize some people that have shown so much love and support, and they're here right now. So whether you are watching it now, love to share all the feedback and conversate with you on this topic. But if you're catching the replay, make sure that you do in the comments, in the comments, say like, hey, like what you thought. Say replay, hashtag replay, and let me know when you were checking out or what inspired you to come and watch my video about me pet sitting. This episode. Anyways, I feel like I'm out of. I think I need to get back into the groove of things. I think I'm kind of out of sorts, but then I ramble. So what's new? Okay. Okay. So, first of all, Aurora, thank you for joining. I really do appreciate you coming. I know that we were just like in some other community stuff a little while ago. So I'm glad that you transitioned over here. And yes, yeah, she was showing some love. And then release your life. Thank you, love, for showing up. I appreciate it. Says buen dia a todos. Yeah, I'm working on my Spanish. I'm getting better. And then, hello, Christine. I hope you're doing good. Bayesian Alpha 4. Hey, love. Uh, she's my, I want to say partner in crime, but that would be a big ass lie. We go walking. That's my walking buddy. Okay. So, and I will get back with you because I don't know if I'm going to be able to walk tomorrow, but that's another story. I did 5 miles on Friday with Bayesian Alpha, and I was kind of paying the price the next day. I didn't even go out that night. I was supposed to go out Friday night, and I didn't go out Friday night. So yeah, 5 miles did something to me. I could just be looking for an excuse not to get up at 6 and go walking. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, and hello, Jess A. Thank you for joining. I really do appreciate coming in. Yeah, because I have story time, and I think you guys are going to be greatly entertained by my story of my most recent pet sit in Valencia, Spain. But we will get to that in a bit. Where is everyone at? I would love to know, where are you at in the world? Please do share. And while you are sharing, also, you know what? I need to make it a habit of saying this, and I don't say it enough. So I just want to go ahead and share right now. Please do like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Give me 2 thumbs up, all that good stuff. So you'll know the next time I'm posting or I go live or I have something really, really super intelligent to share with you, something really insightful. So, yes, please do. Um, I would like to have my numbers go up. Yeah, I've been producing some content now for a while, and I think it's time for a big jump in my subscriber base. Yeah, that sounds good to me. I speak it into existence. I said, so I have actually moved over here to my couch. So usually I'm sitting at my desk during the time that I was not that I wasn't posting lives or going live. I had my office chair died on me, and it was like making all these loud squeaky noises. And come to find out that it was just I put some WD-40 or whatever in there, and then it just broke off. Something had corroded inside. It came with the apartment. Anyways, but I now have I've done some decor stuff at home, and so I have this table that I use to make an L-shaped desk where I usually sit at, and then I realized that it actually fits over my part of my sectional, so I can actually sit on my sectional on my couch, and I have like this nice big table that pulls up. It's like that, mobile desk thing. It's not what it is, but it just goes over this section of my couch perfectly, so I can sit back and have everything, my whole office space with extra monitors and everything set up, and watch TV, and maybe go to sleep. Yeah, maybe go to sleep. I don't know. Anyways, but anyways, I'm set up over here now, so I'm gonna test the waters and see if I like sitting on my couch more. I'm gonna change that picture out eventually. But yeah. Anyways, I am chilling on my couch, and I will see how I feel about recording from here. But right now, it's freaking comfortable as hell. It's really nice. I like it. Okay. So also, please do. I would like to know. I don't have a guest tonight. I don't even know how to act with that because I don't know, for the longest, for the past few months, I seem to always have a guest on. So this is new. Um, yeah, I haven't done this in a while, so I don't know how to act. But what I want to know, I want you to think about is, how are you locating your cozy? What are you doing in this world that is just for you? That is just something that's going to make you smile, that's bringing joy to your life. Please do put it in the comments. Tell me, what have you done that was just about you? Whether it was, it forever stays in my brain. Dr. Linda said she went to the store one time, and she has 4 kids, and she went to the store and she got a candy bar, I think, or ice cream or something, and she sat in the car and ate it for herself and didn't bring her kids anything home. That was locating her cozy that day. Um, how am I locating my cozy? I haven't been live in 3 weeks. I've done a lot of locating my cozy. But with that, I do hope that you will share in the comments, what have you done that's been just about yourself? Um, what has brought you joy? I I actually, Christine's probably gonna laugh about this. I decorated. Okay, so the guest bedroom. I have a 2 bedroom here, and the guest bedroom, I have made it more for like when my granddaughter comes over, and so it's like it's really nice, but it's not kid. It's not a like a kiddie room. It's just a nice guest room, but it has like some of the touches that makes it personal for her. But the way I did it and the way I have some of the decor is if I have a guest that comes, because I do invite women that need a soft landing. Sometimes I'll say like you can come in and stay in my place. So if I have somebody that's coming to stay, it's easily like I can change out a couple of things, some pictures and things like that, and make it more adult friendly versus kid friendly. So and the thing is, the reason why I say I'm locating my cozy, because I literally right now, it's the best room in my place right now. It's better than my bedroom. But I just kind of walk by and I feel joy when I walk into that room. I'm just like, you did that. This is a nice, cozy guest room. And I just will go in there and just sit and just enjoy it. It's nothing extravagant. Um, it's just really, really nice just to go in that room and know that I created this beauty and this peace and this calmness that other people are going to get to enjoy. So here's the funny part too. Um, I wanted Beijing Alpha, and I wanted Beijing Alpha 4, who's here, Christine. I wanted her to come over. I wanted somebody to see the room. Whenever I do something decorating style with my place, I always want to show it off. So I wanted like my daughter to come over, somebody to come over, so I could see the room. And life is happening. That wasn't happening. They weren't coming over. That's cool. My landlord came over the other day to do some things regarding my apartment, and she was, as she was working on some things to make sure the AC was working great here. She walked out. She's like, "I love what you've done with this place, and I really love the room. That room is so beautiful." And I just felt like, I don't know if the word's vindicated. I don't know, but I was just happy when somebody just acknowledged that that room is amazing. So yes, that's it. Just brought me all the joy in the world. Now that somebody's finally seen it and acknowledged it, I needed that for whatever reason. Now I'm okay. I'm like, Christine, you don't have to come over. It's fine. Okay. So let's see. How are we locating our cozy? Let's see here. Hold on. I'm going back to the comments. So, um, hi, April. Unfortunately, I'm back in just a second. Oh, okay. So, okay, Renee says, I'm reading more. That's good. I am not one to sit down and read, although I did just accidentally activate my Audibles, and I think I have 2 credits now, so I do need to go ahead and order 2 books. And yes, I want to. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm just looking at somebody just said something. I'll post it in a minute. But yeah, I don't physically sit down and read. And I would love to be able to say that I do sit down and just like open up a good book and just start reading. I don't, but yeah, I do need to use my 2 Audible credits. So that's great. Bring yourself joy. Enjoy that you time. It's all about you. And Jess Ann says, cuddling on the couch with my pets, drinking coffee, tea, and sometimes wine. There you go. Yes. Whatever brings you joy, it's all about you. Be selfish. It's okay. Give yourself permission. But just A also said that the picture behind me is bringing joy. Let me see if I can. Yeah, it's like a Paris. I'm assuming it's a Paris street. It came with the apartment. I want to switch it out, but yeah, I do like it. I just want to find another place for it here in my flat. Hold on. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I do want to find another place for it, but yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. It holds a nice little good vibe. Um Aurora, excuse me, Aileen, I'm sorry. Aileen says spending time with my grandson while my daughter is out of town coordinating wedding. See? Just good vibes. It's so here's the thing when it comes to the grandchild, my lollipop. If everybody knows my granddaughter's nickname, the one that's here is Lollipop, and then the one that's on the way, the nickname that the the new baby, the new Nieta will be called is Lu. Did I say Lumi? Lumi, yeah, Lumi. Yes, that was the name, like luminous. Anyways, so yes, I'm so glad that you are enjoying. I was about to tell a story and it just went out of my brain just like that. Oh, okay, I remember now. See, this is me. This is the real me right here. Like squirrel all the time. So no, I was gonna say that I have not seen my granddaughter because I was out of town last weekend. So she hasn't been over here in 2 weeks, and then they're going out of town in a couple of. She didn't come over this weekend, and then maybe next weekend. So I'm kind of like going through the withdrawals, and I was like, she needs to come over. Daughter's like, she'll come over, and then my daughter said, well, she can come over next weekend. Then I was like, I think I got plans. So, anyways, she's coming over. I wanted to go to Barcelona, but it doesn't look like that's going to pan out. You know who I'm staring at right now. But yeah, I wanted to go to Barcelona because there's a gathering for people who do dreaming Spanish. If you're into dreaming Spanish or you're trying to learn another language, dreaming Spanish is actually they're in Barcelona and they're having an event next weekend. But I don't think I'm going to be able to go. So yeah, I'm gonna probably have my granddaughter. But anyways, so glad that you guys are doing things that are just making you bringing joy to you. Very very important. Okay, on topic. Let's talk. Let's talk. So, I wanted to go to Valencia, Spain, and I, I'm one that if I want to go someplace, I definitely want to find a pet sit. I've been doing pet sits now since my first one was November 2022, and um, yeah, it's been a great way of getting around and not having to pay for Airbnbs or for hotels. So I appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity to when I decide I want to go someplace, you know. Let's just see how I can make it happen. So, anyways, I have been doing some research and checking out pet sit opportunities in Valencia. There is a wonderful community of Black women in Valencia. The Facebook group is Afro Girls of Valencia, and so I have been part of that group for a while. And I see them posting and they do things, and they do different events. And so when I knew that I was going to be coming, I actually interviewed Gilda, and I know I'm saying her because she's from France. But I interviewed Gilda on my channel. I'm going to put her link on there soon, in just a second. Anyways, I'm going to put her link for that interview on there. Anyways, I interviewed Gilda, and I decided that I have got to go and meet this group in person. So I finally got a pet sit, and it was two dogs. And I had interviewed with this wonderful lady about a month or so ago. So it was well in advance, planned well in advance. And I was excited. And when I let Gilda know that I was coming, I asked if it was okay if we do a gathering, a meetup while I'm there. And that's another story. But it was wonderful. Had a great time. I think it was like ten women. We met up at Mercado de la Imprenta. It's a food hall. It's like if anybody's gone to what is that place? Time Out in Madrid or in Barcelona. It's like that, but smaller. But it was nice. Anyways, I love pet sitting. And so I decided to take a bus. This is another conversation, but I decided to take a bus to instead of trying to take a train because it was just too much of a hassle. I would have to go into Madrid and then go to take a train to Valencia. I just took a bus straight from Zaragoza to Valencia. It was a 4-hour bus ride, and I'm gonna talk about that later. But it was cool, and I'm really great. I'm really comfortable now. I don't feel like I have to get on a train to go anywhere. It's like buses rule here. They're not like the Greyhound buses, back in the States. They're nice. Everybody's nice. It's not like, somebody sitting up there with their shoes off. I don't know. I haven't been on a bus in the US in a while. Anyways, great experience. The owners of the pet owners they were leaving about maybe 2:30. So we had discussed it, got all the information. I did the interview with them to make sure that it seemed like it was going to be a good fit. Personalities of the dogs understood. They sent the welcome guide to me or gave me access to that so I would have all the information that was needed. So I get there about noon and I meet the couple very nice. They were getting ready to go off and do their own vacation thing. And The dogs were wonderful. They were sweet. It was Marley and Lola, and Lola was the more dominant dog of the two. And so I they showed me everything that needed to be done. Perfect walkthrough. And but I was hungry, and so after the owners left, which was about maybe 2 o'clock, I did let them know that I was going to sit here for like an hour with the dogs and relax, but then I needed to go get something to eat. So the dogs, you could eat. They were eating the treats out of your hands and everything. And the thing is, they're big dogs. They were kind of big dogs and everything, and it kind of scared me a little bit. But I'm like, girl, get over it. It's fine. I've watched so many dogs. I've watched dogs that were bigger than that. My concern was sometimes out of fear. If a dog, it seems like they're really scared of you, I was scared that maybe one might like will growl at me or kind of go off or whatever stuff out of fear, like maybe attack out of fear. That's never happened to me. Never happened to me. But um, well, I've never been attacked. I've had a dog that wouldn't let me in the house one time. So I they left. I go grab something to eat. I was gone for maybe an hour and I come back. Now we had taken the dogs out for a walk and they showed me like where they walk and everything was perfect while they were there. And so when I got back, um they went and like hid up under the desk. They didn't want to come near me. And I'm like, okay. So I just like did my thing. I'm just walking around. Yes, that's another story. I think I have that somewhere out there, the one where the dog wouldn't let me come into the house initially. That's a whole other story. That was one of my most challenging pet sits, but yeah. Um, but the dogs, they just went. One went. Marley went and hid up under the bed, in the main bedroom, and then Lola was just laying on the bed. No problems. They were just, I would still go in there and pet them and sit with them, or sit with Lola and pet. Very, very friendly. The problem was, well, what I realized was a problem was they both wear harnesses. And so when it got kind of later, I was going to go out. And so I went to go put the harness on them so I can take them for a walk. And I couldn't get Marley out from up under the bed. So I was like, just leave them alone for now. Leave her alone for now. They were both little girl dogs. And I tried to get Lola to come. And Lola was like, no, I don't want to have anything to do with you yet. So I reached out to the owners and I just said, hey, just FYI, I have not been able to get them out to they won't like go to the door or whatever to go, do their evening walk as they said they go for walks at about maybe 7 o'clock. So they said, well, don't worry about it. They'll go in the morning since we did take them for a walk at about maybe 1:30, 2 o'clock. They'll just go in the morning. You're okay. I'm like, okay, fine. So I sleep on the couch. I don't sleep in the bed with the dogs. They could have that big. It was a big, huge king size bed, but the bed was not very comfortable. But that's where they slept. So I was on the couch, and that's where I usually sleep whenever I do a pet sit. So the next morning, I wake up. I go out that evening. I try again, try to coax them with treats to see if they still want, if they would go out for a walk with me. They were like, nope, we're not doing it. Okay, fine. So the next morning I wake up and like at daybreak, it's like 6 a.m. and I see the sun coming out. And I say, okay, they're ready for a walk. They never came out of that room. And I'm like, I know they have to be ready. So I go and I sit with Lola on the bed for like an hour, just talking and petting. And she's very loving and all that stuff. And I go to get the harness and I get it over her head and then I get it through one arm, one leg, and then I go for the other leg, and that's when she was just like kind of. She didn't bite me. Just I want to be clear, I was not bitten or anything like that. But she growled, showed teeth, and kind of like jumped up and kind of tried to nip at me, and I was like, oh hell no, what's going on? So I literally put my hands up like the dog was trying to arrest me. I was like, okay, so I'm not going to touch you. We're gonna wait, and we sat there for like another hour of me just trying, and Lola was like, no. Meanwhile, the other dog is still under the bed, not coming out at all. Neither one of them has eaten anything. And again, even though they're at their home and they're in the comforts of their home, they're still like, there's a stranger in our house and we don't know you. So there's an adjustment period, which I understand. Some dogs, they don't need that adjustment period. They're just like, you're my new best friend. And for the most part, Lola was like, "Yeah, we can sit. You can pet me. You can feed me. all that stuff, but you're not putting that harness on me at all. I would like to know how many people here have pet sit. Um, yeah, I would love to know who all has pet sit before. I've seen some stories, some really great stories, and I've also seen some that some people have experienced some challenges. As of late, what I'm seeing is more not the pets, it's more of the pet owners that have been causing some other people the blues. So after a while, I decided this harness is not, I can get it over a head. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to find a pet store or some kind of store and just go get a standard collar, just a regular collar. And I did reach out to the owner and ask them, do they have like a regular collar anywhere? And they said, no. I'm like, well, okay. I will go to the store and get a regular collar because I really do need this dog to come out. Now, please, you have to understand something. Um, I was supposed to be meeting up with this group of women at 2 o'clock. Was it two? Yeah, 2 o'clock. So I'm like, as the morning is going on, I'm like, well, I still have time. It's no big deal. But as it's becoming more and more apparent that I cannot get this harness on this dog, I'm like, okay, thinking I need to be able to take them for a nice long walk. I need to come back here and shower. I need there's a timeline, a schedule of events that needs to happen here. So Saturday morning, the grocery store across the way, the Mercadona is right across the street. I'm like, well, they gotta have a collar there, right? So they open at 9. I say, okay, I wait until 9. I go across the street to the Mercadona. Mercadona doesn't have any kind of dog collars. Okay. There's 2 pet stores that are within a block or 2 of where I'm at. By the way, the neighborhood where I was at, wonderful. It was a really nice little neighborhood. Anyways, but the pet stores don't open up until 10. I'm like, okay, well, I will just go and wait until 10 o'clock because I was still trying, calmly trying to get the dog, to get the collar on. At one point, I did get the the harness on, but and I just said, well, let me just at least get her to stand up and then I can get the harness on her. So she finally did stand up and then she took off. And then before I knew it, she had wriggled out of the harness. She's like, nope, not doing it. So 10 o'clock rolls by. I'm just looking, hold on just a second. I'm just looking at this. Jesse says that she did pet sit for neighbors, big dogs, yeah, and medium size. Yeah, and some people are like, "Oh, big dogs, I can't deal with big dogs." That is not I have had more attitude, well, from a medium-sized dog, but for the most part, I think about the big dogs that I've dealt with, and they are not, um I have not had too many aggressive behaviors from, like, a bigger dog. The little ones can catch some attitude sometimes. These dogs, I think, 'cause I'm thinking about my dog that I had in back in the States, I wanna say these dogs were probably like 50 pounds. Maybe, yeah, the bigger one, Lola, was maybe like 50 pounds. I would say that. So not a huge dog, not like a Labradoodle, but nice size. Anyways, I go to the pet store. I'm so thankful that even though I'm working on learning my Spanish, I'm not good at it. I suck. So when I go to the pet store and I am, attempting to speak Spanish, but the lady that worked there, she's like, I speak English, you're fine. I was like, okay. So I explained to her what's going on, tell her that I'm a traveling pet sitter, that I'm here taking care of these pets and everything. And she was like, oh, I understand. I said, my goal is to put the collar on and then wait 30 minutes and then put the leash on and then take her for a walk. Good idea. Great. So that's what I do. So we're looking at the collars, and I'm making sure that it's a nice sturdy collar, not just a little flimsy collar. And so I go back to the house and I get the collar on her, and she's like, Lola's like, "What are you doing?" But she lets me put the collar on her, and then I wait 30 minutes, and I go back and I put the leash on, and she gets up, and I am just about ready to cry because I'm just like, "This is so beautiful. You're doing it. You are actually following, and I know that there was another dog under the bed, but I said, let me just deal with this challenge, and just be happy that I was able to overcome this situation. I'll come and get the other dog in a little bit. Usually the dogs get walked together, but in this instance, I'm like, let me just take one dog out for now. So We go outside. Well, we go into the stairwell, and there's an elevator, and then there's the stairs. I'm like, I'm gonna walk her down the stairs and everything. So we make 3 steps down, and she wriggled out of that collar and took back off. Thank goodness we were on the second floor. She wriggled out of the collar. She went back up to the door. I went to go to let her back in so we can start over, and she takes off up the stairs to the next flight. I'm on the second floor. We're on the second floor. She goes up to the next floor, and I'm trying to get out the treats, and I'm saying, Lola, come here, Lola. And she's like, no. And then she goes up to the next floor and the next floor. And she goes up to the eighth floor. I am out of breath. There's an elevator there, but of course I can't get on the elevator. I have to follow her all the way up. Thank goodness she gets to the very top of the floor where she can't go anywhere else. And so I'm like, okay, I don't have the harness with me. I just have this collar that was clearly too big. I didn't realize that the collar was that I just bought was too big. Okay. I so I'm sitting there and I'm trying to get her back in, and she lets me put the collar back on her, and then she wriggles back out of it again. So I'm like, oh my God, this dog is never gonna let me. And also my concern at this point was that her fear was gonna make her lash out. Now, again, I haven't, from what I understand, the dog is great. But then again, the thing is, owners are like, oh, my dog doesn't bite anybody. Of course, the dog doesn't bite you. But I don't know how this dog is going to react when I'm trying to get her. Like I tried the loop method on the leash, just to loop the leash to do it that way, and she was able to wiggle out. Because I had never had to do this before. So I have to just sit at the top of the stairs with Lola. And I sat there for about 15 minutes, and I'm sweating. It was hot. And I talked to her, and I gave her treats, and I talked to her, and she just was not, she was like, I still don't trust you. So we're going to have a therapy session right now. And that's what we did. So yeah, for about a good 15 or 20 minutes, we had a whole therapy session. And then I was able to get the leash in the collar. Well, I got it like hooked up just enough, and she came with me down the stairs. And at that point, because I was like, we're not walking down, I finally got the elevator, and we got on the elevator and came down. And I'm telling her the whole time, I'm like, you are putting that harness on. We are not doing this again. I was just done. Like I, of course, I did everything and was extremely patient. And, I worked with this dog, don't get me wrong. But in my mind, and actually what I did tell her, I was like, you're putting that harness on. We're not debating this anymore. You're putting the harness on. So we're going for a walk, and I'm telling her how it's going to be. And she listened, because when we got back in the house, she went inside. When we went back in the house, she went inside, and I told her, "Don't sit down." I got the harness, I put it on her, wrapped it around herself, and she was like, "Okay, I give up. Let's do this." So yeah, I got the harness on. Yes, harness is the absolute best. It was just, again, I did not know this was a whole new experience, and I've had some wonderfully challenging. I've had some pretty funny things happen and pretty crazy things happen while pet sitting. If you guys don't know, one dog locked me out of the house. Back when I was in Texas, a dog locked me out of the house, locked me in the backyard. He locked the door when I went outside. So I've had some weird situations happen with dogs, but this was just something new, something different. Again, we had a whole therapy session. We talked about it. Once I got that harness on, made sure it was secure. We went for a walk, and again, I was just ready to cry because I felt like we had just had this big bonding. And then after that, like I took her out for a walk. We went to the dog park, and uh, I think that Lola was feeling kind of weird because her sister wasn't there. So Lola just went and just sat at the like did her business, and then just sat at the gate and waited for somebody to open it up. So I was like, let me not have you run off. So I put her back on the leash. Anyways, we went for a walk. We walked for like maybe 45 minutes, and it was really nice. And I, was able to enjoy because we were right next to Jardín de Turia. It's like this uh, uh, big park that they like. It used to be was it a river or a canal that they just turned into a park? and it's really beautiful. Anyway, so it's just a really beautiful experience, and I got to see like all these beautiful orange trees and things like that. So and the oranges on the ground. So I get back. Now I'm pushing for time now. It's about that time. I am really pushing for time. I'm like, you've got to go because I'm the one. I'm literally the one that's quote, pretty much like co-hosting this gathering that was supposed to start at 2 o'clock, right? So we come back to the house. I am ready to take on Marley, who has been under the bed the entire time. Since like for 24 hours. Marley was like, I'm not coming out. I don't know about you and everything. And I also had to give Marley medicine, which I was able to, give her the medicine and you just put some on the treats and I just slid the food up under the bed. So Marley did eventually eat. I was very happy with this. In order to coax Marley out, I was going to have to move the bed. Because I was like, Marley, I don't have time to play with you anymore. You got to go. I cannot go out to anywhere until I know that you have been walked properly and you're well taken care of. I was so happy that she ate something. I'm the type of person that I get excited. Um, about anything. I get excited because, a flower bloomed. I get excited because a dog ate a treat. I get excited because, there's somebody has on a pair of really cool pants. I don't know. I get excited and I'm like, ooh, that was really cool. That was me when Marley ate her food. I had to push it under the bed, but she ate her food, I guess at some point. Anyways, time to get Marley out. Um, I move the bed as I just kind of lightly move the bed. Marley runs out and goes into the living room. So I go and I'm like, okay, Marley, I'm having a therapy session now with Marley, and I I'm talking to her and she's like, nope, I still don't trust you. So then she runs back into the bedroom and goes under the bed. So then I'm realizing that I need to like start closing off areas. Okay. So I'm closing off. I finally get her out of the bed. She comes out of the bedroom. I close the bedroom door so she can't go back in there. So eventually I get her cornered into the office space. I get the harness on and she is ready to go. Okay. I decide at this point also that once I finish taking her for a walk, I'm going to go ahead and go get my money back because that collar was 15 euros. Okay. Like, I'm going to get my money back. The owners were going to pay for it, but I'm just like, I'll just get my money back since that there was of no use. There was no use for them. So I decide to go do that. And I also decide, let's go ahead and take Lola out. Let's take the sisters out together. Let's do this. So I take them. They're very good. They're very well leash trained. Very good. We go for a nice walk again. I'm like, okay, I feel better. I mean, I'm taking pictures and I'm sending it to the owners like, I won. I did it. I am excited. We go for the walk. And on the way back, I'm like, let me go ahead and return the collar. Beautiful. Just people are outside at the restaurant. It's a really nice neighborhood. I really thoroughly just enjoyed that whole experience there. I can't wait to go back. Go inside. And I also the thing was I really did want the pet store owner, the lady that worked at the pet store, to see the dogs that she helped me find the right collar. Well, that didn't fit. So I want to go and show off the dogs. Like, see what look what I did. I want to feel validated. So I wanted to show that I got the harnesses on by myself. We go in and she's like ringing up to return the funds and put it back on my credit card, and I drop Marley's leash, and they have sliding glass doors. They have this like this, yeah, they have not the sliding, they have the automatic opening doors at the pet store, which when you think about it, that's the dumbest thing to have at a pet store. You shouldn't, I don't know, just in my mind, it's all after the fact. I accidentally dropped Marley's leash and the door opened and Marley took off. This was the most traumatic because I'm like trying to get Marley to come back. And Marley's like, hell no. Marley takes off. And I run out with Lola, leash in hand. Lola's with me, and I'm running and I'm like screaming bloody murder, trying to get Marley to come back, trying to get him a treat. He's like, nope, that's okay. So I'm yelling at all the wonderful people that are just walking around or eating or whatever, like, Get the dog. Not in Spanish, not at all. But, yeah, there was no way I could yell like get the dog. And yeah, it was in English. I I'm running. I don't run. I do not run. I walk 5 miles. I enjoy that. I haven't run in a while. My knees are bad. There's people that are trying to get Marley. I'm really freaked out. Thank goodness it was a kind of neighborhood where, um, there's cars, but thank goodness, nobody's like speeding through the neighborhood. But I'm still scared that this dog is going to get run over. I thought she's going to get hurt. So, anyways, people are trying. They cannot get the dog. They're like, and they just kind of look at me like, which I understand. They're like, they tried. That's all they can do. I can't expect them to do anything more. And then I see which way Marley is running. Marley's running back home because literally the pet store that we went to was a block and a half away. So I'm like, oh, the dog is running back home. So I'm running. And the thing was, when we were walking towards when we left, we passed by, all the people sitting in the restaurants out in out along the sidewalk, and they saw me walking with these two dogs. And so when they saw me running, I was smooth running with the other dog. I mean, you just saw people like the dog went that way, that over there. So yeah, they were like letting me know, like this is where the dog went. They knew what was going on. So I turned the corner, and I have to say this again. I don't run. I don't. It's not happening anymore. I was running with ease. And sometimes in your dreams, when you are like, I don't know if I'm sure I'm not the only person that's had that dream where you're like running and you're running like superhero, smooth, cool, fast, and like you're not even out of breath. That's how I was literally running, and I remember as I was running, with Lola, the other dog, I was like, "You're not about to pass out." I was actually very shocked that I was not. I don't know. I felt like I mean I'm 55 years old. I thought I was going to just drop, but I was like, nope. You are making it. You're gonna get over there. So, anyways, I turn the corner. We cross the street, and I see the dog standing in front of the building, just like, hey, where you been? So when Marley sees me coming towards her, she takes off and like goes like past the door, and I'm like really like, oh my god! But thank goodness that as she passed the door, as she got up and walked away and ran away, the people at the restaurant just passed there. They know the dog, they know the family, and so they kind of reared her to come back, and so she came back to the door, and I just said, "You want to go inside?" And she was like, "Yes, yes." So once we got in front of the door, and again, everybody's looking at because I'm not a slim fit. I mean, I'm fine, but yes, running and being slim is not. That's these things you can't categorize and put me in that category at all. So I was smooth running and I felt confident in my running until I stopped, and that's when I was like, ooh, you know, trying to catch my breath, and the people are looking, and there's like little laughs. It was one of those situations. I felt like everybody was just looking at me and laughing. Yeah, okay, I felt like they were, and a good amount of them were. But overall, I think that they were just like, she got the dog. It's okay. And I immediately um, grabbed the leash, and yeah, we went inside, and I was just completely sweaty. Now, by this time, it's 1 o'clock. I'm supposed to be at this, at 2. I am just beyond frazzled. It was like the movie Marley and Me. This was it. This was like Marley and Me Part 2. Okay, it was. I never in a million years would think that I would one be chasing a dog up the stairs or chasing a dog down the street. But I'm so thankful that that they were okay and everything was fine. And the kicker is this: So I after I finally calmed down and sit down, and what's crazy, well, not crazy, but this place did not have, they had AC in their in the flat, but it wasn't working, so it was just a fan. So like for a good 15 minutes before I could do anything else, once I got them inside, I made sure they had water, and they were good to go. And after that, I just had to sit down in front of the standing fan for like 15 minutes just to kind of regroup and just be like, what just happened? I cannot believe this just happened. So, yeah, but after that, I went and took a shower and I'm getting ready to go. But after that, those dogs followed me for the next 48 hours that I was with them. They followed me. I mean, they didn't go with me to the meetup, but when I was at home, they followed me everywhere. I could not go to the bathroom by myself. It was just like they were like, "Where are you at? You're our new best friend, buddy. Where are you at?" That was the experience. They were like, "We trust." She said Turner and Hooch the movie. Oh my gosh. When I tell you that these dogs were like just Velcro to me at that point, they were like, "You are our best friend. We tested you and you passed." Yes. Yes, Aileen, yes. You passed the test with flying colors. Um, it was just, it was so weird because like the first night they slept in their bed, and I wasn't sleeping. There was like there was all this dog hair and stuff. I mean, the place was nice and it was clean, but there's two dogs there and stuff, and there was dog hair everywhere. So on the bed. So yes, yes, that was an adventure. That was a mind-blowing adventure. I'm like, I cannot believe that happened. But again, they love me. Um, so they sleep on the bed, and the night before, one slept under the bed, one slept on the bed, and I slept on the couch. I was like, so once I got back from my evening or my afternoon activities and came back, yeah, Saturday afternoon, I was like, I'm done. I just want to be on the couch. Like they gave me some sheets and everything so I can get comfortable on the couch and watch TV. And they both, one came and it's like, cause it's like a sectional couch. One came, was at the foot at my feet, and I'm like, you have a whole bed. Why are you here with me? And then the other one came and laid down at like my head. And the couch was big enough where there was plenty of space. But yeah, and they were like, and they kind of looked at me like, you know, we're going to sleep with you and you don't have a choice. Um, Usually I can tell, well, because I was in the living room and I didn't want to close them off in the bedroom, I wasn't going to do that. So, but usually I can tell a dog like, you're not sleeping with me. No, and can get the bass in my voice, that comes kinda naturally, and let them know, like, "You are not on the this is my couch while I'm here. You cannot get on here with me." These dogs were like, "I don't care what you say. I don't care." They did not care. They were just like, "We're gonna sleep with you because you're our bud," and I eventually embraced it. I mean, I still had my area that I was like, no dog hair zone. Just like, okay, you can sleep down there at that end, and you can sleep down here at this end, but this is my no dog hair zone. But yeah, they were like, I felt so protected. I felt so immensely protected. Yeah, and it turned out like the next day, I got up in the morning and we went for a nice long walk, and we went to the dog park, and yeah, just the most loving, wonderful, wonderful dogs. And even before I left, and because I kept the owners informed about the whole, I didn't, okay, let's go back. I kept the owners informed about the challenges. I did not like tell them about one dog going upstairs and the other one getting loose until the day I was leaving. I always do an exit interview. I do an exit video. So like I go through the house, just saying like, this is clean. The sheets have been put on the wash, whatever it is. I just let them know to show them that the house has been left, their home has been left as clean, if not cleaner than when I first got there, when they left. Excuse me. And I also like, do videos showing like the dogs have been fed, I took them for a walk, all these things. And so at that point I did say, so yeah, there were some challenges. They knew that there were some challenges. I just hadn't detailed it. But I let her know because also the dog got loose in the neighborhood. I don't need none of the neighbors saying like, your dog was running around. Okay. So yes, I told them everything that happened. And they felt bad. They were like, "Well, so sorry," and stuff. And I was, they of course happy that their dogs are okay, but also felt bad for me. Um, but even before I left, they were like, "So in September, we're going to be gone for 2 weeks. Can you come back and stay with them? Because it's like, they really seem to like you, and we don't, they didn't want to like expose them to too many different people. But like, find somebody and you live here in Spain, come back down to Valencia, and I would absolutely do it again. They are absolutely wonderful. I love that bond. The reason why I'm not going to go back and do the pet sit there is two things. One is um, I'm not going there in August, September. They were like, yeah, the AC wasn't working, and even with it working, they kind of did a bait and switch a little bit. They were like, "Can you not run the AC so much?" And I'm like, I um, when I did the interview, and this is nothing against them at all. I'm just sharing right now. But when I interviewed with them initially, I was like, I need AC. I am postmenopausal. I don't play. I'm not going to sit up here in a bunch of heat and not have some kind of good AC, not just a fan, real AC. And so, but then when I got there, it was like, can you not use it so much? Because they were concerned about, the electricity bill, which I get. But when I did finally turn it on, it didn't work anyway. So I will not come back and do a pet sit there because I'm not going to be sitting up there sweating in August, September. And the other thing was, I don't like the water pressure. Um, yeah, little things that can really like make it not comfortable. Bad water pressure or low water pressure is a deal breaker for me. If and I took a shower, everything's fine, but I will not come back because the water pressure, especially not for 2 weeks. 2 weeks they wanted me to stay. I'm not going to do that because the water pressure was just too low. I need to have a good. I'm spoiled. I'm very spoiled. I have a in my apartment. I have great water pressure, and the it stays hot forever, and yeah, hits you hard. So yeah, um, I will be going back to Valencia, as soon as like I don't know when, but I will be going back. I had such a great time with the women there. It was such a great bonding experience to meet all these wonderful women that all these wonderful women. There was one young lady that had just gotten, and I think she was in India for 3 months, and she had just gotten to Spain, like to Valencia, to Spain 2 days before. And after traveling from India to Spain, she needed like 2 days to like recoup. So the meeting and the meetup that we had, that was her first outing, and it was just great to meet all these different women from all different walks of life that are like living in Valencia. Also in Valencia, yeah, it's very much like I'm in Zaragoza, so I'm really, um, I get by just fine, but they speak Spanish in Zaragoza. In Valencia, they speak Spanish, but you can find a lot more people, locals that do speak English. So even though I will say like, no, speak Spanish to me. Sometimes they'll be like, okay, yes, let's have fun. I will practice Spanish with you. And then other times they're like, no, speak English. I don't feel like doing all that. All that to say, I had a wonderful, wonderful time with the group of women at where we met up at, and I can't wait to see them again. Hi guys. And Valencia, I feel like it's a vibe. It's really great. I feel like Valencia, Spain is um and maybe just because I wasn't in the tourist, I don't know where the tourist area is. I feel like Valencia itself is just um I didn't see like the main tourist area. I saw people everywhere. And again, maybe it was just because of the area that I was in with the park, and they had there's like all the different museums and all that stuff in the area. It was just beautiful. And I feel like people in Valencia dress a lot better. Yeah. everybody, because I went out a couple of times, and I'm used to like going out here in Zaragoza. It seemed like even people like in Valencia were dressed better than the people in Madrid. I don't know. It was just a whole different vibe there. I felt underdressed in Valencia. Yeah. So I was like, man, I need to get some wedges, some little like some wedge heels or whatever. Yes, I felt like I need to do better. So yeah, Valencia, when I come back, I'm gonna be like making sure I represent well. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, that was my experience. It was It was challenging. It was so comedic. It was so, uh, yeah, it was so, not in a million years that I think that something like that would ever happen. And I learned from it. And yeah, I learned from it. And then in the end, I got to take care of these two dogs that really just kind of trauma bonded with me after that. Okay. So let's see. I do want to know, please do. Who's in Where are people at here? Let's see here. I want to go back and see here. I'm looking at and see what people have to say. Did you see the Rasafa or Grandia? Okay, so I passed by the Rasafa Mercado. I um and I don't know the areas well enough to say like where exactly I went. I just know like along the that Jardín de Turia. That's that's what I know. I know that area. Um, I walked um, the areas that I was in. I was walking everywhere, and I think the longest I walked was maybe 45 minutes. I stopped. They have some great cocktail bars there. Yeah, they have some great speakeasies and cocktail bars. They have great food options there. Very, very impressive. Yes. So yeah, I can't wait. I'm on a mission. I want to go back. I have some, footage um, uh, for some of the places that I went to. Um, Maybe I'll do some editing and post it on Instagram. I'm getting better at editing, so I'm really excited about that. That's my big mission. Let's see. Aurora says, riveting. Did you get your dog collar money back? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. So that's one of the first things that I did after I got them taken care of and got them settled. I did go back up to the pet store to make sure, and the money had already been returned back to my credit card. I just wasn't sure because of everything that had happened. I wasn't sure. So I just went back up there, and and the lady actually, because the lady that was at the pet store when I came back in, she was like, like what happened? Because she had even run outside to try to see if she could see where Marley had gone. Anyways, I went back there, got my money back, all is well with that. So yes. Yes, and as far as yeah, the no AC and low water pressure, yeah, I am American. Some things I can just say like chalk it up and just be like, "Ah, it's okay, whatever." And in the moment, yeah, I dealt with it. I was there for 4 days and I dealt with it, and it's fine. But I can't come back. As wonderful as the pets were, and as wonderful as as the couple were, the couple was. Um, I don't think, if I do, I will probably ask like, so how's that water pressure? Yeah. Um, yes, that was yes, I did. Yeah, they call it Jardín de Turia. Yeah, but the Park Turin, yes, that is really really beautiful. I can just go and walk there, and if I was a runner, but yeah, I walked probably. When I took the dogs out both times, it was like maybe an hour and something that we walked around, and it was just the weather was just perfect. And yeah, just walking around and just sightseeing, and yeah. And by the way, there was another reason why I was like, the eye candy wasn't bad either. It's international. The eye candy was working. There was clearly some men that were like were living there, and like I don't know what parts of Africa they may have been from, but they looked like they were gentlemen that may have been from Africa. um, and there was a really good looking guy that was from Russia that I met at the dog park. He was married, but he was just really good looking and very friendly. And so I was like, let me, just come over here and conversate and have some nice eye candy to look at. But yeah, and when I say it's like, it's not like they look good. I'll just say that they look good. There was just some very good looking people, good looking men, and I was like, well, if I had the urge and I felt like I needed to go, um, uh, scoop up a man, like, yeah, yeah, it's a 4 hour bus ride. I'll go stay there for a couple of weeks. We can make it work. Fictional man, wherever he is, somewhere in Valencia. Yeah, we can make it work. Yeah, I feel like there was a lot more options than what I have here in Zaragoza. None. Okay. All right. Let's see. Where else? Any questions? Tell me. You know what? I just had to share that experience. Um, when will I be going live again? I don't know. I'm trying to think because at first I was going like, live like every uh like 2 times a week. I'm not doing that. I'm going to be posting more content, but I'm not going to be going live. That's just too much, and got to put on makeup, do hair, and all this stuff, and I'm a little lazy. So yeah, with this new season, yeah, I'll be going live 1 day a week. And will it be continue to be at midnight on coming into Monday from Sunday? I don't know. I actually like this. Believe it or not, I actually do like going live at this time. It feels like I'm just my genuine chatty self. This is, well, you fit in with the good looking people. Oh, thank you, girl. Yes. Yes, thank you. Yeah, anybody that saw me in the previous chats earlier today, because we had some group accountability chats earlier today and stuff, and y'all seen me. I clean up well though. Okay. Oh, says I was totally captivated by your recount, and then you add the eye candy. And so guys, yes, I have more stuff, got to talk about, got to share. But I'm happy that you guys did join me for this evening as I shared my totally crazy, wonderful experience with my pet sit in Valencia. And I look forward to doing another pet sit. Right now, I'm trying to get a pet sit in France. Yeah, that's my next one. I'm ready to go to France. Um, yes, I got plans. That's the goals. And so I'm trying to find a pet sit in France and one in Portugal again. So yeah, we'll see. But yes, please do make sure that you like and subscribe, so you can come back and hear me or watch me ramble and talk about random stuff. I got things to share. So make sure that you do that. And I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Thank you. I don't even know how to do this now. See, I've completely forgot. Oh, here it is. Ah.